June 22nd, this past Saturday night, Donald Trump ordered B-2 bombers. These are the multi-billion-dollar bombers based in Missouri. And 7 of them apparently flew almost 15 hours one way, 6,000 miles, and each of them perhaps was equipped with 2 of these terrible bunker busters, 30,000 pounds. 14 of them were dropped on the Fedor nuclear site, and cruise missiles from submarines then hit the other 2 as well.
A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fedor, Natanz, and Esfahan.
Do you think that Jordan and Israel are morally equivalent to these crazy nuts in Iran or Hezbollah?
So I don't think they're going to make a deal. They're going to delay, lie, use the Houthis, and they are playing with fire. An exasperated Trump administration will finally throw up its hand and say, you can't deal with these people, but they're not going to get a nuclear weapon. But by the end of the year, I don't think Iran will have a nuclear deterrent. And then we're going to be watching a mystery unfold. If it should be hit, and if it should lose its nuclear potential, what will be the reaction of the Iranian people? Will they be angry that their national sovereignty has been attacked? And the question is, what happens now? Well, we have to get some context. Usually when an American president does anything in the Middle East, it doesn't work out well for a variety of reasons.
We've been here before, haven't we? Carter's failure in 1980, Bush's fall from grace after Iraq, Obama's chaos in Libya, Biden's haunting retreat from Kabul. America's history in the Middle East reads like a diary of unintended consequences. So why would Trump do it? And why now? Hanson says this was not a prelude to invasion, not regime change, not a drawn-out occupation, just precision, power, and a message. Your nuclear card is gone. But is that ever the end of the story?
Jimmy Carter's presidency was destroyed by his failed 1980 April rescue attempt. Joe Biden was about 50% approval until the disastrous flight from Kabul. George W. Bush, when Saddam's statue fell in spring 2003, had about a 55% approval rating. But after the insurgency and the surge and the insurgency, he left office with historic low polls. I don't think Barack Obama even recovered from that misadventure in 2011, where he, under the influence of Samantha Power, Susan Rice, Ben Rhodes, and Hillary Clinton bombed Libya. And that went on off and on for 5 years.
The day after, what I think was the right thing to do in intervening in Libya.
What Trump did was not 1991 First Desert War, where it's a preliminary to a ground invasion. It was not 2003 preliminary to a ground invasion. It was not 2011 bombing Libya for regime change. There was a specific task, and that was to take out what remained of the nuclear acquisition program in Iran. And apparently it did that in spectacular fashion.
Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated.
So what is going to be the reaction to all of this? Everybody says, well, there'll be I don't see the people rising up, a green revolution redux. But what might happen is that the military should be feeling very uneasy. The top 20 or 25 officers were taken out by Israel. They know there's a list. The subordinate officers, the next tier, must know their name is on it. They must know the people are angry that over 50 years nearly, they spent $1 trillion subsidizing the Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Assad dynasty. And for what? It's all up in smoke. And then they probably lost another $1 trillion over 50 years through sanctions and oil embargoes. For what? It's up in smoke. And so people in the military must know that the public will be pointing their fingers at them as well as the theocracy. They must know that any association with the theocracy got their superiors killed. And it'll be interesting to see what the military's attitude is if they were further humiliated. Will Russia and China do anything? I doubt it.
You don't seriously think I'm going to answer that way. Will you strike the Iranian nuclear component? And what time exactly, sir? Sir, would you strike it? Would you please inform us so we can be there and watch? I mean, you don't know that I'm going to even do it. You don't know. I may do it. I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do. I can tell you this.
So where are we right now? Right now, the ball is in the court of Iran. Trump has said to them, you can come back and negotiate, but what would they negotiate over? Their one card was that we have the specter of a nuclear bomb, so you better come to us and talk. They don't have that anymore, at least not for the foreseeable future. The only negotiable item is whether they survive or not. And I don't think they're going to want to negotiate that. And so what are they going to do? It's probably going to descend into something like the Houthis, Red Sea, Western Israel, tit for tat, until finally they get exhausted. What is the stature of Israel and Trump in the aftermath? Well, Israel has done the unbelievable. If we had this conversation on October 8th of 2023, we would have said the very idea that they're going to take on the formidable Hezbollah legions, that they're going to destroy Hamas, that they're going to neutralize some of the Houthis, that they're going to cause the Assad dynasty to flee, that Russia is going to be out of the Middle East, that Iran is going to be defenseless. No one would have believed it. Their only problem, Israel's, will be overconfidence. After the Six-Day War, the Yom Kippur surprise happened. After their success since then, we had October 7th to the day, 50 years later. I don't think they're going to get overconfident anymore. As far as the United States, they have restored the deterrence that was lost by Joe Biden in a variety of ways, but most spectacularly in Afghanistan. So it's a very tense situation. No one can predict what's going to follow. But for right now, things are much better now after Saturday night than they were before.
Victor Davis Hanson is right about one thing. Deterrence for now has returned. Israel, once surrounded, now reshapes the region. The US, after years of drift, just reminded the world what it can do in a single night. But then what? Will Iran double down in desperation or crumble from within? Will the West stand firm or fold at the first sign of backlash? And what happens the day after deterrence wears off? You see, it's easy to drop bombs. It's much harder to control the fallout, political, strategic, moral. So ask yourself, did Trump just prevent a nuclear crisis? Or light the fuse on a new one? Is the world safer today, or just quieter before the storm? This isn't over.